the only key to breaking the 100-year curse of the universal century. Before we dive in, I want to ask you something. A machine built to destroy Newtypes ended up proving the potential of Newtypes. Can you think of a more ironic story anywhere else in Gundam history? Today, we're breaking down the main mobile suit of Mobile Suit Gundam UC, set in Universal Century 0096, RX-0 Unicorn Gundam. A machine packed with the cutting-edge technology of a full psycho frame, even called a god by those who witnessed it. But this video isn't just a spec rundown. Why was Banagher Links the only one who could pilot this machine? What's the truth behind Full Armor, the ultimate loadout designed by an amateur student? And what exactly was the miracle the machine performed at the very end? By the time this video is over, I promise you'll see the Unicorn Gundam in a completely different light. Let's get into it. First, we need to talk about where this machine came from. The Unicorn Gundam was developed by Anaheim Electronics under commission from the Earth Federation forces. On the surface, it was presented as a research unit for next-generation mobile suits. But the real purpose was something else entirely: to eradicate Newtypes. The UC plan in the Universal Century was a project designed to completely bury the Newtype ideology championed by Zeon. The Unicorn Gundam was built as its symbol, and for that purpose they equipped it with the NTD, the Newtype Destroyer system. The moment it detects an enemy Newtype, the machine's limiters are released, and it can forcibly hijack and neutralize the enemy's funnels. In other words, this machine was engineered from the ground up as a Newtype killer. But there's another critical feature: full psycho frame. Normally, psycho frame is an extremely rare technology used only in tiny amounts around the cockpit area. Even the new Gundam only had it in the cockpit section. The Unicorn Gundam, however, has its entire movable frame, the internal drive skeleton, constructed entirely out of psycho frame. The first machine in history to do so. That means the machine itself is designed to resonate with the pilot's mind. A machine built to destroy Newtypes, stuffed to the brim with the pinnacle of Newtype technology. What a contradiction. And it's precisely that contradiction that eventually gives rise to an unbelievable miracle. Now let's talk about the pilot. Banagher Links was an ordinary student living on an industrial colony. No special talents, no elite training. The reason someone like him became the Unicorn Gundam's pilot comes down to one thing: his bloodline. His father, Cardaeus Vist, was the head of the Vist Foundation and the hidden mastermind behind the Unicorn Gundam's development. On his deathbed, Cardaeus entrusts the machine to Banagher, saying, "This is my gift to you." But this gift came with a critical hidden mechanism. At the time of activation, Banagher's vein pattern, his biometrics, was registered into the system. What that means is simple. No one else can operate this machine. Unless the OS is completely wiped, no one else can even start it up. It became a machine made exclusively for Banagher. And there was one more special system built into Unit 1, the Laplace program. This is a navigation system unique to Unit 1, designed to guide its pilot toward the secret known as Laplace's box, the greatest secret of the Universal Century. By activating the NTD at specific coordinates, the next destination is revealed. And this system has a crucial restriction. It does not respond to enhanced humans. No matter how powerful they are, no mechanically augmented soldier will ever be shown the path to the box. In other words, the program is asking its pilot a question: do you still have a human heart? Banagher wasn't chosen by coincidence. He was chosen because he cherished what it meant to be human. When you think about it that way, the Unicorn Gundam isn't just a robot, is it? Now, when it comes to the Unicorn Gundam, you can't skip this: the transformation. In its standard form, Unicorn Mode, The machine appears as a sleek white unit with a single horn on its head. At first glance, it doesn't even look like a Gundam. That's intentional. This is the state where it's hiding the fact that it's a Gundam. Then, when the NTD activates, the outer shell of each part expands and reconfigures. The red psychoframe is exposed from within. The single horn splits into two, and the Gundam face is revealed. Destroy mode. The machine's performance in this state skyrockets to unmeasurable levels. The problem is, this form comes with a fatal limitation. The operational time limit is approximately 5 minutes. Why? Because in destroy mode, the machine operates while enduring accelerations that reach up to 20 Gs. The physical and mental strain on the pilot is devastating. Push beyond the limit, and it's literally life-threatening. And yet, Banagher keeps exceeding that limit again and again. What makes that possible is another system, the intention automatic system, a mechanism that directly reflects the pilot's thoughts into the machine's movements. Move just by thinking. The stronger Banagher's emotions and will become, the higher the output the machine delivers. This becomes the setup for the miracle that comes later, but we'll get to that in a moment. This is one of today's highlights. Toward the end of the story, the Unicorn Gundam receives a final battle upgrade. Its name, Full Armor Unicorn Gundam. Who do you think came up with this loadout? Military brass? A veteran Anaheim engineer? Wrong. It was Takuya Ire, Banagher's friend, a student, not a military expert, not an engineer, just a regular student who said, "What if we equipped it like this?" And Anaheim's engineers looked at it and said, "Well, with some adjustments, we can pull it off," and built it. Isn't that just pure romance? Now, when you hear full armor, you might picture a unit heavily reinforced with extra plating. But that's not it. Full armament. It means loaded with every weapon available. Not defense, the pinnacle of firepower. Here's the breakdown. Beam Gatling gun, ×6, Hyper Bazooka ×2, Beam Magnum, Hand Grenade ×24, Missile Launcher, totaling 17 weapon emplacements. And most of the equipment? It's basically whatever stockpile gear they could scrounge up from the ship, a hastily assembled loadout. Not cutting-edge military hardware, built from what was on hand, giving absolutely everything they had. Doesn't that feel a little like a shonen manga protagonist to you? Of course, there are weaknesses too. The massive weight increase tanks the machine's mobility. So the fighting style in this form becomes uniquely distinctive. Use a weapon, then purge it. Fire, then drop it. Keep moving forward, like a burning comet blazing across the battlefield. And then, there's one unplanned miracle this loadout produced. Shield funnels. Full armor comes equipped with multiple shields, but these are originally just defensive barriers. No propulsion systems whatsoever. Yet in response to Banagher's awakened will, these shields begin to fly autonomously. Like funnels, they attack enemies on their own, and 3 of them form a pinwheel formation, deploying a powerful eye field barrier. A movement not written in any blueprint, drawn out by the force of Banagher's will. Now, let's talk about the final act. As the story progresses and Banagher's NT abilities awaken, the glow of the psychoframe begins to change. At first, it shines red, then gradually, it transforms into an emerald rainbow-hued radiance. And then comes the decisive battle against Neo Zeong. Banagher performs what is described as a soft chest touch. He pours a warm light through his palms, purifying the enemy's residual consciousness and causing the machine to collapse from within. Not an attack, a purification. The battle is decided not by weapons, but by the power of human will alone. And in the final moments of the story, the Unicorn Gundam reaches its ultimate form, the Crystal of Light. The psycho frame crystallizes, psycho shards, bursting through the armor from the inside, transforming the entire machine into something resembling a being made of pure light. And what happens here is truly staggering. Banagher raises his hand, and the generators of the approaching Federation MS forces begin to break apart, as if being returned to their pre-assembled state, as if time itself is rewinding, a force that reverses time. This is no longer a story about weapons. In a sense, this is a depiction of human will rewriting reality. The machine born to destroy Newtypes through the pure will of its pilot brought about a miracle that harmed no one. Now, do you understand the irony I mentioned at the beginning? After the incident, the Unicorn Gundam was designated for sealing and decommissioning as a technological singularity beyond humanity's ability to handle. Singularity 1. It was precisely because it produced such miracles that humanity feared it. But think about it. The one who brought about those miracles wasn't the machine. It was the will of a single human being named Banagher Links. In the end, I believe the Unicorn Gundam existed to prove one thing. The potential of human beings has no ceiling. One quick side note, mechanical designer Katoki Hajime was actually opposed to the transformation gimmick at first, saying this would be impossible to merchandise. It was Fukui Harutoshi's passion that moved him. Sounds a little like Banagher, doesn't it? Even today, a life-size statue of the Unicorn Gundam stands at Diver City Tokyo Plaza in Odaiba. At certain times of day, it still performs its transformation sequence for everyone watching. The machine that broke the 100-year curse of the universal century is still out there, splitting its horn for us. One last question before you go. Which do you prefer? The heavy weapons, all guns blazing style of full armor, or the awakened, free-moving shield funnel combat? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if there's a character or mobile suit you'd like me to break down next, drop that in the comments too. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Until next time, I'll see you in the next one.